And everybody, we are live. Welcome to the Five Guys on Live. I am Zachary Kirk, where I am joined every week by the amazing Clayton. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's Monday. How's everyone else?
It is Monday. I love Mondays. A new start to a brand new week. I'm excited. Rodney, how are you?
I'm doing very well. A little sad, but life goes on.
You are a little sad. So we'll talk about this sadness tonight since you brought it up. And Vince, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing good. Well rested and ready to rock and roll.
Well, that's good, Vince. So you had a nap today?
Yes, a well-needed nap. And I napped yesterday as well. Saturday into early Sunday morning was just extremely busy for me. So I'm getting back up to my norms.
Clearly, you were missing phone calls too.
That's good.
Yeah,
Vince,
definitely missed it.
what were you doing? What was taking all of your time? What were you doing that was so busy?
Yeah, so Saturday morning I had two photo shoots. I did one shoot with just a normal client, and then I did another one with a dance troupe, a dance organization off in Decatur. To go home, take a quick 2-hour nap, and one of my good friends, her name is Jordan L'Oreal. She is a phenomenal artist, phenomenal writer. So she's stepping out into her artistry right now. She's gearing up to release medley off of 3 of her popular songs on the album that just came out. And so we did a whole video shoot. It started at 5 p.m. and ended at 2 a.m.
That's exciting. So, yeah. That's exciting. I thought you were going to say you were doing a photo shoot, for something like, Jordan with P Valley or something. But we are excited to support her. And so if the artist is good, I would love to, have her join me on Thursday nights for the 3+1 live cast. We would love to highlight and spotlight emerging artists and some established artists. That's how I met, CJ. So it's great. So Rodney, and thank you to all of our guests who are joining us early in the show. We have a really exciting live cast for you tonight. A lot of topics that I think that you will be able to engage in and relate to. So stick around with us and tell your friends to join us as well. Before jumping into our very first topic, I do want to talk to Rodney about his sadness. Very rarely, Rodney, do you start off the show where you say that you are feeling a little sad. What's going on?
Well, I refuse to talk. I'm not going to talk about it on here. But
why did you bring it up?
I mean, hell, I was feeling sad. You told me I was feeling.
You said it before the show started, in fairness. But since he doesn't want to talk about it, Zachary, I do want to talk about something that we had talked about a while ago, just to touch up real quick about supporting Black businesses and the experience that you get at Black businesses. So it's just going to be real quick. But on Friday, me and a friend of mine was going to get some food from a JJ's Fish that was Black franchise owned. And we called about 10:45. And
not Black owned, CJ.
What?
CJ.
No. Someone.
No.
Franchise that own. They can. Yes, you can. You can franchise a company.
I don't know of any JJ Fish franchises that are owned by Black people.
Yeah, I don't need.
So tell me which one. I'm going to research this because I think that you're wrong.
I might be wrong, but I was told that it was Black owned. But whatever. I feel like you just want to prove me wrong. Nevertheless, well, if they're not Black owned, it doesn't matter then. I mean, we have bad customer service regardless, but I feel like you're just trying to come for me already.
No.
So you about to go over here and brag on
you were saying that you went to JJ Fish and had a bad experience, and just because Black people like you go to JJ Fish for greasy, overly seasoned chicken and fish, you want to say that it's a bad experience. My argument is that JJ Fish is a franchise where many of the people that own the franchise, they are Asian. And when I say Asian, I'm not talking about it's a variety. Some of them are from Islamic nations. Some of them are from China. Some are from Japan. It's a variety of people, but I don't know of any of them being Black that own any JJ Fish franchises in the city of Atlanta, although Black people go there. So I don't think that's my whole argument about saying that Black businesses don't give you the experience.
It was presented to me that it was a franchise Black owned, that particular location. Now, if it's not, then that's what was told to me. I didn't come out and say it. That's what was told to me.
Which franchise? Tell me the location, and I'm going to Google it.
It was out in Riverdale, I want to say.
Okay, we will look that up. And I will, if I'm wrong, I'm happy to say, everyone, I am wrong. The JJ Fish that gave CJ bad customer service resides in Riverdale and is owned by a Black entrepreneur. But I don't think that it is. I don't think that. I've never eaten at that JJ Fish. I went to one JJ Fish. I went to the one off of University a long time ago, and I saw that they added those little bitty white sprinkles, like that extra burst of seasoning. And when I saw those little white dots in my chicken, if I didn't grow up eating chicken with white dots in it, I'm not gonna eat chicken with white dots in it now. So I promptly said no more JJ Fish for me.
Well, we didn't even eat there on Friday, just so you know. But yeah, it was the initial experience of what happened. But again, you can fact check it and let me know, because I don't want to be wrong. But
And so let's say that it is owned by a white person. Are you going to then say you have bad experiences at white-owned businesses?
100%.
Well, I can't wait. Dear Lord, let this franchise of JJ Fish be owned by someone other than a Black person, so that CJ can finally stop saying that Black businesses give him bad experiences, because we know that businesses have.
I know.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord.
Hold on.
Thank you, Lord.
Isn't Virgil's Black owned? Okay, Rodney, did we not have a bad experience there just 2 weeks ago?
I'm not gonna talk about Virgil's.
I'm just saying. Did we eat there that night? No, we did not. So I don't even say nothing.
No, because I'm not. Okay, wait. Because no. Let's correct you now. So you all about quarantine and COVID-19 because you scared to catch it. So now you mad at establishment who is following the rules?
They weren't really following no rules that night.
They were. They only doing 50% capacity. I text the owner.
There was only like 4 people in there. Cut it out. There was not that many people in there.
I'm just saying that sounds a little
No, it does not. It does not. It does not. It does not. It does not.
Well,
whatever.
So you don't here to tear down Black people today?
No, but you guys are not gonna also come for me and try to gang up on me either. That's what you're not gonna do.
Okay. All right, CJ. Well, next time say something uplifting and be positive.
You're the one that
CJ have to say
something be a negative about someone's dead to you that's not really dead to you.
You can speak your truth. CJ, you can tell the truth. If you have bad experiences in a restaurant and you want to talk about them on the live cast, speak truth. Talk about them. All I'm saying, the only argument I have is that when you say that a business is a certain race, you are not being fair to the race or the business. But with that being said, this is a phenomenal time to talk about really kind of going right into the business world with our very first topic of the night. Vince, we are starting off, my friend, with you, because the retail industry and businesses are approaching the busiest shopping time of the year, the holiday season, and there's a lot of speculation about this season. My friend, take it away.
Yes. We are entering the last few months of 2020. And as we all know, it has been a very, very rocky year for just the entire world. So it sort of dawned on me when I was trying to figure out what I wanted to submit to the guys this week. And I was like, Christmas is coming up, having a COVID Christmas, like, how are we going to respond to that? So in the article that I submitted, one of the things that really stuck out to me in terms of businesses basically was, I have a quote right here. While so much is still in the air, Fortune says that their merchants are expecting sales to increase by nearly 30% on Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, and Cyber Monday. So throughout the course of the argument, I saw it seemed like people were somewhat positive about, I guess, the investment and the engagement that consumers will have with just shopping and buying stuff, so on and so forth. So I wanted to pose the question to you all as if, like, how do you feel the pandemic has shifted or will shift your engagement with the holiday season, as well as will you, physically go out in the stores, in the mall? Will you increase your online shopping and give things that way? And And what sort of struck that or provoked that idea is, you all know I recently moved, and a lot of things like in terms of furniture and stuff like that are on back order because of the pandemic and also because of tariffs. So, people that's been trying to order dining tables can't get it to November if you ordered it back in August. So I'm also trying to put that, I guess, portion or that issue rather into the holiday season. If you want to order things for your loved ones and get it shipped, you may want to do it now, and in prayers that it may show up on their door after New Year's. You get what I'm saying? So it's a lot of things that are sort of going into this topic. So I'll shoot it to y'all. What's your thoughts?
I agree that online shopping, I did read the article and they said that, through e-commerce and everything, that online shopping was going to increase. And actually, retailers are going to increase as well. But what's going to happen is that the population of people that can come into stores at one time is going to have to decrease, because of social distancing and things of that nature. As far as things being on back order, I think we're still dealing with that right now. Like things not coming on time, things coming later than normal. So I agree with you. I think that if you're going to start your Christmas shopping, start now. Start ordering things now. Get your Christmas list ready from people who you want to buy Christmas gifts for. And just do everything online. I think it's safer and I think it's better. And not only does it prevent people for health reasons, for safety reasons as well. We're in the middle of a pandemic. People are going to start robbing people more, and things of that nature. So I think for safety and health, you should start doing, online shopping. What's so funny, Zach?
Nothing.
So funny?
No, the people are going to start robbing more because it's the holiday season?
During the holiday season, people do break into cars more. People do rob more during the holiday season. That's proven. That's not a lie.
Black people?
I didn't say that. I said people.
Okay.
Messy. I didn't say black people. I said people.
Okay. Hide your wives, hide your kids. This is what I'm definitely not going to. I'm a Black Friday shopper. I actually start making my Christmas list right now. My friend Tiffany actually helped me create. We're searching now for the kids. I have 2 4-year-olds to buy for. I have a 3-year-old and I have 2 2-year-olds. And so Tiffany is helping me. She is the mother of my goddaughter, my one and only goddaughter, Riley. And so we're planning out what we're getting the children from Uncle Zach. And so I'm already making my list. Many of the things are going to come from Amazon. So, but that's what I do anyway. And what I'm going to do, even though I buy everything on Black Friday, I just make my list and I just go and buy all my stuff. This year, I am going to spread it around, do a lot of it online, but I am going to go in the stores with my mask and my gloves. I just will be very cautious in where I go and the times in which I go. I do not like to stand in lines. I'm not going to be in long lines. So if I see long lines, I'm not going to go in. I'm not going to be in crowded spaces. And what I also plan to do is to take advantage of a more flexible work from home schedule. So I'm the kind of person where I have not taken my vacation days for the year. I'm likely to take off one day during the holidays of vacation and do shopping on that day to finish it off because I like to have everything done, get it all done. I like to wrap. I like to have the gifts wrapped, expensive wrapping paper. I like the whole process. I do not buy I don't buy gifts for the children throughout the year. So your birthday comes, happy birthday. That's all you're going to get from Uncle Zach. You're not going to get a birthday gift from me. I don't do that. It's too many birthdays, too much to remember. But Christmas is the celebration of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And that is what I recognize. Your birthday is your day. You celebrate your birthday. I don't do Mother's Day. I don't do Father's Day. I don't do non-religious holidays. Don't do those days because those days aren't even real holidays. It's something created to keep money in the American economy. And while I love my mother and honor thy father, I do not believe in giving them a whole bunch of stuff just because you gave birth. I'm not doing all that. But what I do, everybody gets a wonderful Christmas. That is when I celebrate you because that's when our Lord and Savior, that's when God gave us the ultimate gift. And I want to be able to always honor that spirit.
Honestly, I'm not a really big online shopper anyway, just because I like to have to touch my stuff. Especially with clothes because of the way my body is shaped. Some things will be at 34, then I can't even wear it because of it's European size. So I just have to try on everything I have. But when it comes to Black Friday shopping, I hate lines. I do not like very a lot of people. I like to shop in peace. So I will not be shopping. I do not shop on, it's a big
You get European
if I want
sizes?
something, I'm going to probably go buy it.
Well,
when I was what is that? No, that's what when I shopped. I can't think of that website. ASOS, and it was a size 34 at the time when I got it. I can fit it, but it couldn't go over my thighs. I was like, I'm over it, so I had to return it and had to go into Top Man. But now Top Man shut down, so I have to just find a new store to buy jeans in.
Wait, Top Man isn't open anymore?
No,
not in America.
Bankrupt.
Really? I didn't know that.
That was last year.
Yeah.
I don't shop there. I don't shop at Top Man, but I didn't know they had went bankrupt. That's very surprising.
Zach, do you shop at Bass?
So how about
do you shop at Bass? Is that place called Bass? You know what? Forget it. I can't remember. I don't know the real name.
Exactly. If you don't know the name, then don't open your mouth.
So beyond the shopping perspective of things, how about family engagement? Like I know a lot of you all travel already to see your loved ones dealing with the pandemic. How will you all engage in that factor too?
I'm gonna go home to see my family.
Yeah, me too.
I'm a big family person, so unless they have troops with guns until you can't come to the state, I'm coming.
Right. Yeah, I'm going home too.
My family comes to Atlanta, so it's a family tradition for the most part that my family comes here. It's a large family. We used to be a small family, but now we're a large family, and so my family will come to Atlanta and spend the holiday here with me. And that's going to still continue, and they will be here. But they also know to maintain their health and to do the things they should be doing around COVID-19. My mother she's immunocompromised because of Crohn's disease. And so if my sisters, nieces, and nephews are not cautious, and my mother were to contract COVID-19 from them, then they know that. Well, they know what's going to happen, and I'll leave it at that.
Well, yeah, so that's what makes you know me. My mom comes down here for Christmas. It's been a tradition for the past couple of years, but because my mom has sickle cell, she's definitely not flying down here, so I will be driving home to see her and the rest of the family.
And one thing I definitely wanted to add, I just thought this was a good topic just to bring up, and not talk about it in the fourth quarter when stuff start hitting the fan. But in that article, I also read that this time of year is a make or break or do or die for a lot of small businesses. So considering the rough time they've had, the majority of 2020, I know myself, I'm going to do my due diligence and researching some, great quality, high premium small businesses that, may specialize in the gifts that I want to give people and just support them. So, we can go ahead, especially if they're Black owned. I know we talked about that earlier in the conversation.
This is something that we are going to do. We are going to have our 5 guys' favorite things. So get ready. That is something that we're going to do. We're going to identify things from small businesses, whether they're, you can do Black owned, but I'm going to do any small business out there. I'm going to start searching for products that I believe in, and we are going to have a special 5 guys' favorite things to help you with. Because I actually, I'm going to be honest. Everyone has a love language, and for anyone who knows me, if you know me, you know my love language is gifting. I don't like to get gifts. I know that's weird. I like for people to do things for me. Clean up my house, wash my car, pick up my laundry. That says, Zachary, I love you. So I like to receive love by acts of service because I'm so busy. But I show love by giving gifts, giving good gifts. So I actually put a lot of thought in my gifts. I put a lot of time in figuring out the perfect gift for every single person. So with that being said, I will be happy to share my perfect gift finds all around for everybody out there. And I think that's what we can do as 5 guys. We have 2 months to do our prep. You guys have a week to read articles, which sometimes you don't read them, but you actually have 2 weeks, 2 months to get out there and get your gifts and to be ready for a brand new holiday season. So I'm excited about that. What I'm not excited about, what I am not excited about is the passing of the notorious RBG, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. This is the article that I contributed to tonight's lineup. And this is something that just absolutely impacted me significantly over the weekend. And it was just very challenging to grapple with the loss of, this Supreme Court justice for a lot of different reasons. There are a lot of things that are concerning to me about what's going to happen, undoubtedly. And, about just the shift in the balance of our Supreme Court and the possible losing of a level of respectful balance. Right now, you have 5 conservative justices, 4 liberal justices, and there's always a swing vote that balances it out. Now we're looking at a totally different court. We're looking at 3 Supreme Court justices having been appointed by, Donald Trump. And that is, regardless of how you feel about Trump or Obama, the fact that one party is going to have one president will have appointed 3 justices during 4 years is very, very concerning. And the thought that he will possibly appoint 2 more if he's reelected is horrifying. There are a lot of things that can happen. Everything goes up to the Supreme Court. Number one, this election could be contested. There's already a framework being laid by the Trump administration to say that the election will lack legitimacy, to saying that there's cheating and different things. Although President Trump controls the United States Postal Service, he's the president. And not only is he the president, the Republicans control the Senate. But yet, despite that, he's claiming that there's going to be voter fraud. If this goes to Supreme Court, you can imagine that, again, exactly as it was, even though Al Gore should have been president, George W. Bush became president. This is going to be the same thing. This is the insurance that Donald Trump needs to ensure that if he wants to steal an election, he will be supported. That's very concerning. Additionally, there are a lot of people out there that are fighting hard to ensure that members of the LGBTQIA plus community don't have rights. They have wanted to repeal the right to marry. I don't think that's going to happen, but I do believe they're going to create, if it goes back to the Supreme Court, a clear precedent to be able to discriminate, so that organizations can say, because of religious reasons, we refuse to serve people who are in this community, and they can do so without penalty. They can do so without harm. Just this year, for the first time in America's history, members of the LGBTQIA plus community in the Clayton case were allowed, I think it's Clayton versus Oberfeld, but I'm not certain the last name. I know it was Clayton because it's from Clayton County, Georgia. They were allowed to have equal protection under the law to avoid workplace discrimination. We can expect that law may very well get repealed and come back under review with an unbalanced Supreme Court. And that doesn't speak at all to the numerous civil rights laws that have been in place to protect things like the elections and other rights that we've taken for granted. With all of that said, however, I do believe that the Senate should move forward with the confirmation process for whoever Donald Trump nominates. I think that is very important. When the Senate refused to vote on Merrick Garland, the nominee from President Barack Hussein Obama, they were wrong. They were wrong, but they could do it because they were in power. The American people had 4 years to get this Senate out of power, and it did not happen. The Republicans controlled the Senate in 2016. The Republicans controlled the Senate in 2018, and the Republicans controlled the Senate in 2020. The American people want this leadership, and the right of the president is to appoint his or her Supreme Court justices. I do endorse the confirmation of whoever Donald Trump appoints, because that is how our democracy works. Gentlemen, what are your thoughts?
I did a little research on her. The fact she was very big on women's rights, which was really important to a lot of women, for fair pay and just to get a job and fair housing and things like that. So she was a legacy for women. And I know a lot of women were really hurt about her passing. And it's really alarming when it, like you said, Zach, when it comes to the Supreme Court appointee, because like Trump is really getting people who don't really stand for us. And I don't understand how you are black, how you're LGBT, how you are immigrant in the United States, and you are supporting Donald Trump, because when he get these people in, they are not going to be for us, especially for gay rights. Like, unfortunately, a lot of the conservatives don't want you to be gay.
Well, you're right, Rodney, but this is my argument. It's not going to be for any minority community. That's not it. But the thing is, these people in this country elected these senators. They elected these people are elected. That's why every election matters, and that's why every vote counts. And if this is what it takes to make people in this country realize that they have to vote, then that's what we have to deal with. We should not have in 2020 a Republican-controlled Senate unless that is the will of the American people. There are gay people in Kentucky. There are black people in Kentucky. There are Latino and Hispanic people in Kentucky, and there are women in Kentucky. Every single group that I just named face a lot of their rights being rolled back by a new Supreme Court justice. Yet and still, Mitch McConnell, Moscow Mitch, the #1 saggy-faced monster in the Senate, is right there. We're going to fill the seat. We're going to fill the seat quickly. That is the problem. And if we lose every right we have in order to bring about change in this country and force people to get up and care, then that's what we have to do. Because that's what democracy is. It's the real of the people.
A lot of people who unfortunately take things for granted, who feel like I don't care about voting, they'll stand in line for Jordans. I'm seeing black people, or if it's free money and things like that, we're in line for hours. But because of a voting thing or whatever, we're not going to vote. And then a lot of them say, and some of the people in my family, I'm gonna say what I gotta say. I'm gonna say what I want to say.
You go ahead and finish, Christian Walker, and then I'll come back.
This is how I feel. Thank you, Cruella.
No problem, Candace Owens.
Robert Rushmore. But anyway, but it really bothers me when people say, like, oh, I don't care about the election. That don't affect me. My pay is still the same. I still can do this. I still could do that. Barack Obama ain't changed my life. Bush ain't changed my life. Donald Trump ain't changed my life. I'm still out here living and thugging. But when your thugging get taken away from you, then, like, you know what, CJ, I think you touched this last week. People don't care about stuff till it affects them directly. And Zach, I have to agree with you. I want to get knocked on their ass and see your vote does count. I want you to get hurt so bad that something you really love to do, it is taken away from you. Just like with women the right to have abortions. I feel like that is nobody's business to tell anyone, not even what anyone do with their body. But now we got elections and people voting on your life. And as far as religious belief as well, I read the Bible. I'm a Christian. The Bible speaks of love and speak of acceptance of everyone. Jesus hung around the lowest of the lows. He was very subtle with the highs of the highs. So you telling me that you are a follower of Jesus Christ, but you're going to discriminate somebody because they're different from you? That doesn't make any sense to me. And it bothers me. I really wish that we can have a Supreme Court justice that represent every ethnicity in America. Because I really feel like it's just not about one type of people, and it's not fair.
Yeah. This is what I wanted to say to you, Rodney. You see Donald Trump right there?
I see him.
Donald Trump is pointing at you, and you know what he's saying? Look at my African American over there. And let me tell you why Donald Trump is saying that to you.
No, he's not. That is why the election was taken away from Hillary Clinton, because a lot of black people didn't want to vote for Hillary. I mean, are we not going to tell the truth? Or are we going to sit here and tell lies?
Rodney, this is what I want to say. Just let me make my point. What you said was black people stand in line for Jordans. And black people, let me finish, Rodney. I let you finish. I didn't say a word. So you may want to mute your mic respectfully. What you said was Black people stand in line for Jordans. And the reality is a lot of people stand in line for Jordans. You may only see Black people doing it in your neighborhood or in communities where you live in and where you may be shopped. But everybody wears Jordans that want to wear the Jordans. You also said that Black people stand in line for free money. This is feeding into this. That sounds like something Candace Owens says. That sounds like something Christian Walker says.
I see.
Let me finish.
Oh, Lord. Here.
It's what you said. And that feeds into a narrative that is counterproductive to the Black community because it's not actually true for all Black people. Guess how many pairs of Jordans Dr. Zachary Kirk has owned 0 pair of Jordans his whole life. Also, Zachary Kirk has never stood in line for any free money. Even when I thought the money was free, student loan refunds, I learned much later in life, my friend, they're not. What I want to say to Tatiana, you bring up a really good point, is that isn't Kentucky gerrymandering? That is true. That's why I didn't bring up their House of Representatives. I said their Senate. Everyone in the United States gets 2 Senate seats, and every voter in those states vote for those seats. And again, they elected Mitch McConnell, and they're getting ready to go back to the polls this November. And Mitch McConnell, and thank you, Jamar, for sharing it, because he actually said it before I could get to it. Mitch McConnell is in a re-election with a campaign with Amy McGrath, who is an actual dedicated war hero. She was a fighter pilot for the United States Air Force. And the fact that this man who dodged the draft and who has contributed nothing but a surrogate face to the legacy of American politics is even beating her is beyond me. It's unfortunate, it's unfair, but it is American politics. It is.
Can I address Dr.
Yes,
Kirk?
I'm going to mute. See, what I'm going to do now, Ron, is what you do.
Now you're muted. You didn't mute earlier.
What I'm going to do is what you didn't do, is I'm going to mute myself respectfully. And I'm going to, I am going to give you the floor. I'm going to give you the floor, Speaker Pelosi, so you can have your moment.
Thank you. Can you mute? Thank you. Okay, Dr. Zachary Kirk. I can only see what I see, and I only know what I know. And what I do know from what I am from, we will stand, Black people will stand in line quicker for free shit and free stuff and Jordans and things they want to buy, even electronics. Quicker than that, stand in line to vote. And now, this is what I don't like about people. All this is sensitive stuff, and we are scared to speak on the truth. That is the problem. We always trying to tell people the good things about people. And it's a lot of bad shit that people do. And unfortunately, voting is not a big necessity to a lot of Black people. Just like, look at Kamala Harris. She's Black, and they still find a damn issue with her when she locked up Black people. She did it. So don't tell me that Black people don't cause the election. Because a lot of Black people did not vote for Hillary. And we don't vote for one. That's what that does. It's a vote for the other person. So I'm not going to sit here and babyfy y'all. I'm not going to sit here and tell y'all lies. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm y'all best friends. I don't even know y'all from campaign. I'm here to tell y'all the truth of how I feel. And what I do know is, from my experience, let me say that, I would see a lot of Black people from where I'm from that will stand in line for Jordan and won't stand in line for election day. The poll booth is empty as hell. So we're not going to sit here and lie. And if that makes these Candace Owens hold well, but this Candace Owens vote Democrat. So let it be that. Call you out on your shit.
So for me, y'all just wanted to reroute the conversation and actually honor Justice Ruth Ginsburg. A lot of people, probably in my generation, if you will, aren't as knowledgeable as to her impact and all the great work that she's done. When she was sworn in to being a Supreme Court judge in 1993, I was only 3 years old. So just to run a few things down, August 10th, 1993, she was sworn in Supreme Court Justice. October 5th, 2002, she was inducted into the National Women's Hall of Fame. August 9th, 2010, she received the American Bar Association highest honor, the ABA medal. And August 31st, 2013, she becomes the first Supreme Court justice to officiate a same-sex marriage ceremony. So we know that she is very liberal. very radical. She spoke a lot of truth to power, and we really appreciated her and admired her for all the work that she's done, 1000%. Now, deep diving into the story for me was just the amount of hypocrisy that was coming from the GOP. As you mentioned, Zach, Mitch McConnell, as well as Lindsey Graham, because everything that they're saying right now, they were saying the exact opposite in 2016. And to see them just try to finesse their way around and run away and try to escape from the backlash. And there have been videos, like recordings and videos of both of these gentlemen saying the exact opposite when Obama was in office on why this shouldn't be delayed and why this should be pushed forward and stuff like that. And now they're whistling a completely different tune. It's just something where the American public, you got to take off the rose-colored glasses and you got to see the reality of the truth of what it is. And I know we talk about this week after week. I don't understand how, people can still vote for Trump and still have supporters and stuff like this. And in the Politico article that I found, just to sort of recap everything that Zach said quickly, they hit the nail right. They hit the hammer right on the nail, whatever it is. What would a Supreme Court dominated by conservatives mean? It will likely mean, among other things, the expansion of gun owners' rights, but the whittling away of protections for voters, women seeking to obtain access to abortion, LGBTQ Americans seeking freedom, and discrimination. So again, we have to keep reiterating that minorities, you are affected, will be vastly, tremendously affected by this. I was even watching The View earlier. Joy Behar, she said in the 70s that Ruth was very instrumental to her because women couldn't even get a credit card in their own name. And Ruth was a big voice to making sure that women can get credit cards in their own name. So regardless if you are liberal or conservative, you have accelerated and taken advantage of work that this phenomenal woman has done. And going even back to the whole DNC thing, I know what me and Rodney aligned with is how the DNC really illustrated what America looks like, right? And reflecting what the possible Supreme Court justices could look like in a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years from now. That is not what America is. And for me, it's like what the Republicans stand firm in and liberty and justice for all, emphasis on all. You have to really envelop yourself in what all that word means. My all may be different than Johnny in North Dakota and Luann in San Francisco and Chesney in Arizona, but you have to own up to all of that and make sure that your goal is accomplishing for all. And when you have just one party that is just so adamant and stubborn in their own ways to the point where they are just ready to completely negate and forsake an entire 50% of the country, people, y'all, come on, we got to wake up. We got to wake up. Like this is a bigger deal. But all in all, I wanted to make sure that we paid our respect and acknowledge what Justice Ruth has done before we get into what could happen in the future. You get what I'm saying? It was a very sticky time for me because I was getting a lot of phone calls. Oh my God, do you know what this means? And I was like, take a breath, because the lady passed away from cancer. You get what I'm saying? Like she was battling pancreatic, colon, like she was battling cancers for like the past 10 years, 10, 15 years. And she still stuck. She still stuck it out. She still did a phenomenal job. So shout out to Justice Ruth.
CJ, you have anything to say?
I don't. I mean, I agree with Vince. We need to pay respect to what she did and what the legacy that she left behind and what she was doing and what she was continuing to try to keep doing. And the fact that she was dealing with all this stuff and still trying to make a change and make changes, you just got to pay respect to where respect is due.
And so, CJ, while you have the floor, we do pay respects to her, but we also need to grapple with what this means and embrace the reality of what's coming, because it's coming. I mean, there's nothing that can be done to stop the new confirmation of the next Supreme Court justice. The time to stop this has passed, and we didn't take action, and now we suffer for it. Is that going to continue? We'll know in November when we get to the ballot box. And so, we have a few comments before we go into CJ, your story about George Floyd Avenue. Glenn said, I legitimately have a female contact from high school who is all for going back to deferring everything to the husband. She supports women losing rights. She also supports only landowners' rights. This is where the rhetoric got us. And this is, people feel that way. There are people who have stocked up when President Obama was president. They were waiting for the end of the world to come because a black person was president. They were buying and putting all types of things in their basement. People bought they bought Cipro for anthrax. There's 1 million guns in homes. These people exist. Help your friend, maybe, embrace her, support her, and love her. She would be my friend, however. Then we also have Candy, who says she was a fighter. Every time I would see her, my heart would hurt because I knew she didn't look well. Yep, she was fighting. She was fighting for her life, and she was fighting to continue to be of service to the people because she knew what was at stake. She knew more about what was at stake than most of us. CJ often gives us a positive news story. CJ, tell us about this week's news story, George Floyd Avenue in Minnesota. No one hears a word you're saying.
Oh, I was on mute. Sorry. Unfortunately, George Floyd passed away not too long ago. And finally, the city of Minneapolis decided to honor him and give him a street name after his name on the intersection on 38th Street and Chicago Avenue. And I think it should have been done way before this, but the fact that they acknowledge it and finally decided to do it, I think is great. And I think everyone that has lost their life and whatever city they were in, they should be have a street named after them as well. So kudos to the city of Minneapolis. Better late than never, but I feel like it should have been happening way before this. But
yes, I agree with you, CJ. This is a good thing.
Yeah, it's a very good thing. The fact that he's being honored and his name is going to always and forever be there. I think it's amazing. Again, I feel like it should have been done way before this, but I'm glad that they finally decided to recognize and do
it. Something that sort of struck out to me beyond this article was, I guess, making sure that when we have a person that has, unfortunately passed away from police brutality, a person of color, that we remain diligent in what happens post the popularity. And that's real. For me, beyond George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, there's been some things happening, some progress happening in her case, but like a lot of people often fall to the wayside. That's why we always see these random posts and hashtags come up, continue to speak their name, continue. So for me, I always make sure at least bi-weekly that I'm Googling Ahmaud Arbery. I'm Googling Elijah. I'm Googling a lot of these people that are no longer with us to see where their cases stand. Because right now, it's like, how can I say this? We got cancel culture, but it's like we also live in this popularity culture where we address things because it's the hot topic, where it's hot right now. But then when the steam blows, again, that person becomes a hashtag and it just, falls to the wayside. So I think as people of color, if we so passionate and if we so upset and if we so angry about such and such and why this person put their knee on his neck, like that same energy needs to be consistent. You get what I'm saying? Throughout the entire thing. So I wanted to put that out there personally. I think that this is a great thing. I feel like I feel like people that have been affected and have lost their lives due to police brutality, like it should be some type of monument or museum or something, statue or something somewhere in the country where that should be erected to continue to breathe and speak their names. And not only that, one thing, when George Floyd passed, I was talking to one of my friends. I feel like it's also important to, if there's any research about that person or not, or information, there it is, about that person that's available. Like, research about them. Like, okay, what did they do? What was their 9 to 5? What was their careers? And were they a part of any, you know, nonprofit organizations and stuff? Like, what was their legacy that they were wanting to leave on this planet? And then maybe sow into that and give into that and invest into that. Like, I think there's so many things that we can be diligent in than just, well, we're gonna talk about it because it's hot. And
who's
again,
gonna create this museum? Who's gonna do that?
I don't know. You know, I'm an idealist. Like, I just, you know, get ideas off the top of my head. But maybe it could be something that the Black Lives Matter movement chip in together, and, you know,
it needs to be you.
Know.
It needs to be
sure.
you. You need to
I'm down with it.
Make that. No. That needs to be a legacy that Vince Ashton leaves to this world. We can't wait, because this is the thing. In the Black Lives Matter movement, and again, I hear your president calling them terrorists. Here's an interesting point of fact. Zachary Kirk has never been an official supporter of the movement because of the way they misused funds previously. So I don't like DeRay in his blue vest. I have been opposed to him for a long time. So when I say Black Lives Matter, I'm talking about the concept, the ideological heart of the movement that I believe in. But the people that run that organization can't say that I endorse them or believe in their leadership. I do believe that we do need a museum. I do believe that we should be doing an exhaustive amount of, there should be a book written about their actual lives, and there should be a museum. But that is not something that we should wait for to happen. What we do is we're waiting for people to do something for us, and they're not going to do it. While we were waiting for Ice Cube to create his agenda for Black America, he didn't create that for us. He created that for him. We can't wait on people to give our fallen the recognition they deserve. We have to do it ourselves. You can start from the moment. You just talked about, Vince, that we can't let it be popular. We can't let it just be a hashtag. You have to put action and power behind the actual work. And that could be something that God has called you to do. Now, Candy said, and this is a very important statement, they give us everything except justice. CJ, again, like I said, it's a very nice thing they've done, but in many ways, that's kind of where it ends. They will give us a street. They gave Breonna Taylor they gave her family, we talked about this on my show Thursday, they gave her family $12 million to move on. $12 million.
And that's terrible, because no money can ever bring back.
And here's the bottom line. Nobody is asking you for $12 million. The people in this country are simply asking you to arrest the men who killed her. These men are still free. And they're free because of Mitch McConnell, and they're free because of the Attorney General, Daniel Cameron, a Black Republican in Kentucky.
Let me ask this. I don't know much.
Hold your question. It's one thing to say to Vince. You said you Google Ahmaud Arbery. Yeah, guess what? This weekend in Brunswick, Georgia, where Ahmaud Arbery was shot down, the police killed somebody else. They killed another unarmed Black man. This isn't ending. It's not stopping. It's still happening. The only difference is now America no longer supports the movement. America is no longer caring and looking at the police. Their popular opinions have moved elsewhere. CJ.
I know. My question was, did the family turn down the money?
No, they didn't turn down the money. They're going to take that money and they're going to use that money for the work they need to do in their world.
I want to say this. I think it was.
And the money was a settlement. Settlement in a civil lawsuit. So you have criminal lawsuits and you have civil lawsuits. The family received money as a civil settlement, which is what they deserve because the city killed Breonna Taylor. That has nothing to do with the criminality of her murderers.
Which, by the way, is already a line item in the city's budget from jump. Like, when major cities across America endure terrible situations like this, they already have money set aside for this. So it wasn't even like a sentimental, oh my gosh, we apologize, this is something we can do, like that kind of energy. No, we've already allotted $75 million for this type of thing to happen. You get what I'm saying? So that's a whole nother topic.
And to piggyback on what you said, Vince, I agree with you. You said it best. When things happen, people are for the moment, for the time, and then it dies out. They have to keep that momentum consistently for things to make a change. So I agree with you 100% on that.
The Black Lives Matter movement, Dante, is not the same thing as the organization. That's what I'm saying. It's not the organization. Black Lives Matter is our movement. Black Lives Matter is not our organization. They're two separate things. You were saying, Rodney?
Let me say this, because y'all, I like the dialogue. I'm enjoying it. But I think it's nice that we named the street after George Floyd. However, I would love to see some policies in place and some procedures when it comes to cops drawing their weapon. It is a show on Amazon that I can't think of that black lady, but she plays in it, and they had to enter a code every time they went to draw their gun. I would like to see something implemented in our police officers. Like, before you could draw your gun, you have to tell the reason why you're drawing your gun. You get what I'm saying? Because now you can easily get a gun to your face over your taillight being out, over you running a stop sign. I think that's unnecessary. And if you already thank you, Dante, watch me. And if you already scared, you get what I'm saying? You walking up with your gun. Can you imagine what you do if they frighten you? You gonna hold the trigger, you gonna pull the trigger and shoot without even realize that you shot somebody over something very stupid. So it's nice that we have all these street names, and it's beautiful. But I want to see some policies in place. I want to see legislation in place. Let me see that. Let me know that you really do understand what we mean and how we feel. Because street is just a street name to me. My family has a street name in Decatur, Georgia called Wash Avenue. It's beautiful. I love it. But it's just Wash Avenue. You get what I'm saying? What is the policy and procedures y'all are actually going to implement for this man? For this to never happen again. Because like Zach said, the deaths are not going to stop, you guys. We're going to have hashtag on top of the hashtag. Until we have policy and procedures in place, it will always be say their name.
Until we have politicians in place that are going to address the root cause of the issues and then take swift action, you're not going to have as much action. Here's a prime example. Everybody in the city of Atlanta, when we had the unfortunate killing of Rayshard Brooks, you had swift, deliberate action for the mayor of Atlanta and the police department. People complained about it, and it wasn't good enough for so many of these people, but it was more than enough than what you get in other parts of America. It was well handled. It was done, and our city was able to move forward. That's not happening across America. It's not, and that's a big part of the problem. We want to move forward. We don't want to stay too long on the issue. Dante said, I don't blame the cops for being cautious, but drawing a gun for exhibition of the answer, they shouldn't be cops. That's a part of it, but at the same time, also, it goes back to the whole movement to reform criminal justice in America, because our police officers should not be involved in nonviolent disputes. When someone is having a mental health crisis, there should be mental health workers deployed to help address that crisis, because they know what to do. They know how to handle it. And that's what a large part of really trying to take funds from the policing and into the rehabilitation and also into the therapy and treatment will bring. Maybe Nene Leakes will contribute to this efforts, because she is going to have more time on her hands, as she will not be returning to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Maybe Nene will be able to help our police officers do a better job. Rodney, tell us about your girl, Lanithia, straight off the pole Leakes.
I want to say this, even though I do not care for Nene Leakes as a personality, but I'm not going to ignore the fact that she really did bring a different light to Black women when it came to reality. I mean, she has opened door for many Black women. College is what it is. This is how I feel. But however, what I don't agree with Nene Leakes is this. I feel like she's too grand. And I feel like when you cannot follow the rules and you cannot respect people's positions, regardless of how much they make less than you, then you might need to be removed. And I'm not going to miss her on the show. There's a couple people they need removed. I think they need a whole new housewife cast, because I'm tired of the same stories. It's all boring. And like, we get a new season with the same old drama, and then Nene, this is that, and this is that. It's not working in her favor. And you know, like one thing I could say about Nene that I can respect about her, that she will let you know how she feels. What I don't like about Nene is that she is really uppity now. You know, her face changed. Her face has literally changed every season. From season 1 to season 12, Nene is a whole complete person with face and how her actions are. And unfortunately, she will not be missed on my end. I would say good riddance and goodbye. And let's see who's about to be the new Supreme for Atlanta Housewives, which I think is going to be Kenya.
So to my birthday twin, because me and Nene have the same birthday. I mean, okay, Kim Classic. You know, Nene, first of all, will she be missed on the show by the fans? Absolutely, because she is a fan favorite. Will the show continue? Absolutely, because it's not the first time she left. She left season 9. And, you know, the show was perfectly one of probably the best seasons that they had without Nene. But I think this is just another strategic way for her to just get attention. I don't think she's leaving the show for sure. And, if you watch the video and watch the tweets that were coming from Bravo and Andy, she specifically said, I will not be returning on season 13. She did not say she was leaving the Housewives forever. So, and then to go on to what Bravo and Andy said, hopefully one day, they gave this whole apology, not apology, more like a, thank you so much for what you've done. We're really going to be missed, blah, 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 blah. Hopefully one day, again, you'll hold a peach again. So I think she will be back next season, but I think she's just taking a break this season and they're making it seem like she's leaving Housewives forever. But do I think the show will still be successful without her? Absolutely. And I agree with Rodney. They can take out a few of the Housewives and replace them with some new meat. So, I mean, I think the season's going to be good. We just have to wait and see. But I don't think the show's going to be a complete no-go no more because Nene's not in the show. They did it once before and they'll do it again.
Lanithia Leakes was absolutely great for television. We can't deny that. I think that is very much so true. We got a few comments here. I do want, Rodney, after I say my little bit, we're going to turn it back to you because Candace wants to know what doors did she open? And then Vince, but we're going to give Rodney some think time. So then Vince, I'll turn it to you. And Rodney, I want you to tell us about these doors that you say Lanithia opened. I know what you mean. I could give some examples, but I'm going to let you answer because Candace, threw it to you. And Zach, let me tell you, I do not agree that she is worth 1 penny more than what she makes, and she probably is being overpaid and overly taxed in the franchise. But I do agree that more Black people should be getting what they're worth on their jobs. Now, I agree with that. I don't agree with Lanithia getting more money, but I do agree with people getting more money. And no, Candy, she's not going back for this season. Now, she may return in the future. This is an under negotiation. Lanithia Leakes will not be on the season 13 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Her time has come and gone, and she is either in timeout or she is done for good. And we are often underpaid and under-recognized. I do want to say that Nene Leakes plays games in her career that I don't think that she has a room to play. She is a 52-year-old C-list celebrity, and I am proud of her, and it takes a lot to be C-list. So this is no knock on C-list because I'm a Z-list, if that. But the fact that you are 52 years old in the C-list and you already launched out here and did this in season 8 of the Real Housewives franchise, and now you want to come and play these games again because you don't get your way, Lanithia, you don't command what you used to command. When Lanithia left the show in season 8, she had guest spots on Glee. She had a role on some TV show on NBC that I never watched. She had talks in the works about getting a talk show that was similar to the Wendy Williams show, and those things didn't come. She was doing touring with comedy where she said she hopes someone gets raped in the cab. Lanithia was making career moves then that I haven't seen her make now. I hope her the best because she's a Black woman. I want her to have the best, but I'm not a fan of her brand of comedy. I'm not a fan of her brand of entertainment. I think she's making a mistake by leaving the show. The Real Housewives of Atlanta, they don't need Nene Leakes, but I do believe Nene Leakes needs the Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Well, I mean, that's true. That's very much so true, Zach. And to correct you, she was doing Glee and in a show called The New Normal. That was back that was like season 3, between season 3 and season 5 when she did those shows. And she was also on Celebrity Apprentice and things like that. I mean, really after that, The New Normal got canceled. And Glee, she was Coach Roz for I think one season, if that. So that was very short. But then she did the Cinderella play. And she also did, I want to say Chicago. It was Chicago.
Yeah, she did Chicago.
She was on Chicago, yeah. So yeah, she did, those little things, and then she tried to do the comedy tour or whatever. But she had a heckler. She attacked a heckler in the crowd, and then after that point, she really wasn't doing nothing. I mean, but you got to think she does have her restaurant that she's building now in Duluth, and she had her clothing stores at Swag Boutique, one in Miami, one in Atlanta here, and I believe one in Vegas.
Atlanta was shut down.
Yeah, she had one up in DC. Oh, the one in Atlanta shut down. So Miami, Vegas, and DC. So she has things outside of that. So do I think that she needs the Housewives? I think it will continue to further her career. But I think she'll be back.
Yeah. My Sagittarius sister as well. Love Nene. She was definitely one of my favorites on the show. I know, just like I think Zach Thomas just said, she actually has a new show coming out on E, Glam Squad Showdown, and I believe she has another show coming out on E as well. About a month or two ago, she was starring on the TBS Celebrity Show Off. That's fine, because we know that you're not a fan, so I mean that's typical. But she also was on the TBS, which was a pretty funny show, Celebrity Show Off, that happened during the middle portion of this pandemic or what have you. So she's always been making moves. I really appreciate Nene because I always look at stuff from a business and a marketing perspective. When the Housewives come on, when everybody's out doing their promo tours and stuff like that, Nene is I feel like she's very smart in how she has managed her relationships with like Entertainment Tonight, E, just all the major market cities that do that have big entertainment press, because she's a juggernaut in that reality show zone where she can move along. And the rest of the housewife girls, they do the same circuit. She's the only housewife that will appear on Wendy. You get what I'm saying? I mean, Kenya did once upon a time, but in terms of a consistent kind of thing, like Nene definitely holds her own. I think that she will continue to thrive and be consistent. I don't also believe that this is going to be her last season. I honestly feel like she should come back and host a reunion. I feel like Bravo needs to pull a fast card and let her, if not do all 3 portions of the reunion. I think she should just do one and pop up on the girls and just see how that sort of interaction would be. I think it would be hilarious. So in terms of this upcoming season, they have 3 new additions. You have Drew Sidora, Latoya Forever, and then this new girl named Fallon Gabadia. I can't pronounce her name. So to Rodney's point, I believe that Bravo is looking at the Atlanta franchise and making it younger, making it more millennial driven. Because to Zach's point, I mean, she is 52 years old, as well as a lot of the other ladies are, in that age bracket. So I feel like they're trying to usher a Candy and Portia, rise, like have them like really be the bulk and the stars of the show. I honestly don't think that Kenya will be like a Nene kind of level, because a lot of folks don't really like Kenya. To be honest, I know people say like you don't like Nene, but a lot of people really don't like Kenya. Like authentically have person. Like I know people that's like personally like I do not like Kenya. You get what I'm saying? So I think the show will continue to be successful. I'm really curious to see what it brings, but yeah, we ain't gonna. This isn't the last one.
She's definitely throwing a Vicky Gunderson. Vicky Gunderson is a part of the first ever, OC to start the Housewife franchise, and she's running the show. That show has been running longer than the Housewives of Atlanta. And Vicky's the same thing. She left the show and she made this whole statement that she wasn't going to come back, and then she ended up coming back, and now she's back off. So I feel like Nene's very strategic, and she's just doing this to play into her coming back for next season, for season 14.
I want to say this. I feel like Nene is like a Nick Cannon situation where you build a franchise. Like I said, I'm not going to throw shade at her. She built that Atlanta franchise. And then they tell you what you are worth and you built that franchise. However, what I don't like about NeNe is when you are the star of Atlanta Housewives. I will never take that from you, but your attitude is nasty. You disrespectful to the reunion. You don't have a lot of scenes, and your storyline is boring. I'm sorry, I did not enjoy NeNe's storyline since season 6. Honestly, like
but you know.
It's boring.
Do you really feel like NeNe was the star because she was on the original that stayed out throughout the whole show? Kandi came in season 2. But let's be real. I mean, I feel like when I think of the original, and they should have stayed, like when I think of the originals, I think of NeNe, I think of Kim, and I think of Sheree. And I really feel like they held that show until they faded out and then NeNe became a bigger star. I do believe if Sheree and Kim stayed on the show, I think equally they all would have held their own on that show if they would have stayed throughout the duration of the show.
Yeah. But I also feel like this. NeNe also said in an interview that I watched on someone's podcast, I cannot remember, where they say every time they bring a new person, they make them feel needy, see how they jail. So, like, I'm not going to disrespect her, but however, her storyline is boring. I'm tired of seeing her. And if you're not going to give me a storyline, then you're going to be disrespectful because you have fan favorites like CJ and Vince who wants to see you at the reunion, but you leave. That's disrespectful. Like, so you're not gonna say and tell me that that's cool. No, girl, goodbye.
It may not be professional, but for me, it's definitely not professional. I personally would not have done it. In her mind, though, to Rodney's credit, you just said, "Hey, NeNe not on a lot of episodes." So if you're telling me Housewives be on for 26 episodes, NeNe was on there for 17 of them 26 episodes, and all 3 parts of the reunion is all about her, and you expect me not to get upset? Y'all ain't talking about Kenya and Ken. Y'all ain't talking about the cookie lady. Y'all ain't talking about none of that. But y'all talking about me for 3 parts of the reunion, and you don't want me to ask for more? Out of 26 episodes, like, you come on, man, business like that don't even sit right in my spirit. Like, if I'm gonna be on there for 17 out of 26 episodes, you only need me on there for a half, one whole portion and half of the second portion, and I'm out that thing. But she might gonna keep talking about me for 3 whole portions of a reunion episode and not expect me to say something?
Let me tell you,
man, get out of here, bro. And that's why she be coming off, I'm the threat, I'm the juggernaut. I can see why she say that because you talking about me for 3 portions of the show. If I was not that big of a threat, you would not matter. Your opinion doesn't matter. If I wasn't that big of a threat, I would not be ruffling these feathers and carry out a whole reunion.
Like, you gonna bro. But what you're not gonna do? See what NeNe talked about Kandi that whole time. Didn't speak her name on her little YouTube channel, saying they get this person a certain thing, and then it was brought to attention. I want to talk about you. Well, who else? What you talking about then?
I love NeNe, but NeNe is a hater.
NeNe is a fucking hater. I'm sorry, I can't say that. NeNe is a hater.
It's the truth. Kandi is more successful than her, and she can't take it.
Yeah, and people love Kandi.
That's besides the point. The fact of the matter,
you know it. Kandi's a better business woman than her. Kandi is more successful than her, and she never gives. I love NeNe. Trust me, I love NeNe down, but NeNe doesn't give people their props. She doesn't.
No. I get that. I'm not saying that she's flawless. I get that. Like, there's some irritations that I have with her as well. But the fact of the matter is, this past reunion, y'all not gonna sit up here and run me through the meat grinder, say that I'm not a juggernaut, say that I'm not a threat, say that I'm irrelevant. I've filmed 7 to 8 episodes less than all of y'all put together, but then y'all talking about me for 5 hours straight. Get out of here, bro.
Vince, you are right. NeNe Leakes is a mammoth. She's a juggernaut. She's a big woman. The moose is loose, and she's finally off the show. I want to say, and this is we got to move on.
For now.
I've been waiting to go back to your point. Now, I'm going to be honest. I will watch the next season for I'll give it a try, but I do not like the idea of new people coming on the show. Like these random names you threw out. I'm not trying to learn no new randoms. But let me tell you who is trying to learn some new randoms. Someone who's very excited to have new randoms, and it's Offset. Offset likes the randoms. So much so that Belcaris has to move on. She has announced that she has filed for divorce from her husband after a couple of years of marriage. Many of us are looking like this lady right here in the background, like, what is going on? Rodney, this is another story you brought to the table. Tell us what's happening with Offset and the one and only Cardi B.
First and foremost, I want to say this. I'm not one to tear down somebody's marriage. I feel like what you do and what is your parameter, what you see fits for you is for you. However, I don't like the fact of how everyone is coming on Cardi B like she's wrong for divorce of somebody. Yeah, she might forget this man for cheating many 1,000 times. You don't know what goes on behind closed doors because everything's not reported to TMZ. But if that girl is tired of that man cheating on her, why is it an issue that she's leaving him? And then I saw another article today allegedly that he said he left. He didn't like the fact that Cardi B was talking about her vagina on WAP. But you right here talking about F and B's and nutting B's and doing all this stuff. And like I don't understand I hate that women can't be as expressive as men in rap and as an artistry as well. But that's a whole nother topic. But I want to focus on Cardi B. A lot of women stay with men because they're afraid, because of the children, because of what the public gonna think. And who wants to stay in a marriage that you're not happy in? Like, I don't even recommend people staying in the marriages just for the children, because your children gonna grow up seeing that dysfunctional ass family. I witnessed some of it. Like, if you know that man is not, or that woman's not good for you, leave. And if your children gonna cry and hurt about it, hell, let them cry. They're young, they don't understand. But once they get older and experience life, I bet I understand why mama left daddy. Daddy left mama. Cause like you're grown now. And Cardi B, I wish you the best. I'm happy for you speaking your truth. And you and Offset can still raise your daughter together. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you tie that man cheating on you, leave his ass. Because if it was Cardi B, it'll be all talked about. She'll be a hoe, a slut, and all this other thing. But because Offset doing it, he's praised about it. That ain't fair.
No, it's not. It's not fair, Roddy. Definitely. And I again, I don't like to hear anyone going through a divorce. And I wish Cardi B the best. I feel like she could do better. But I don't know if you heard the recording or not. But she actually, Wendy Williams played it today on her show because Wendy Williams returned back today for season 12, and Cardi B said it on an interview. She said she did not leave him because of the cheating. She said she had already forgave that. She already knew what was going on. She said she is strictly leaving him because they are not seeing eye to eye. She's tired of the argument. She's tired of the back and forth, and she's tired of the bickering. She said sometimes people just grow apart, and she said we are growing apart. She said, yes, we will continue to co-parent or whatever, but she said she's tired of people saying that it's because of the cheating. She said she already got past that. She forgave him for that. And she said, no, he does not have a baby on the way. So that's a lie as well. This is her own mouth. You can actually go to the Wendy Williams show and you can hear her recording. She said, I'm strictly leaving him because we are just fading out. We are just not meant to be with each other. And I wish him nothing but the best, but I just can't do it no more. And that's what she said. She said exactly like that. So it had nothing to do with the cheating at all. This is her words. And I personally think she could do better. So, I mean, if she feels like she doesn't want to be in a toxic environment where they're constantly arguing and they're not seeing eye to eye, I don't care if it's a marriage or friendship, then you shouldn't be around that person and be with that person. And she just said, we just came to the end of the road. And that's pretty much it. So I wish her nothing but the best. She's definitely well off financially. She makes more money than him. So she's okay. And I think she'll, find happiness with someone else if she decides to want that in her life down the road.
Yeah, I agree with everything you just said, CJ. In that interview, there was one quote that I really that really stuck with me. She said, when you feel like it's not the same anymore before you actually get cheated on, I'd rather just leave. And I think that's Bible. I think that's Bible right there. That's a principle a lot of people need to apply during and before they get into a relationship. You know, I feel like both of them, they're still young. Like Offset is 28, you know, so you know, it's like there's so much life to live, and just given the success and the celebrity and the money and the influence and the power that they have, you know, like your grandma, my grandma used to tell me, you know, make sure you don't, you know, sold all your wild oats before you get committed and get married and stuff like that. I feel like there's some things that they just have to live through and overcome and get out their system, and maybe come back around, you know, in another year, you know, possibly, who knows. But I definitely wish both of them the best, and definitely the best for the sake of the child. You know, a lot of these celebrity divorces can just get super ugly. And I've always wondered, when you look at these celebrity divorces, when the kids get of age and they watch this footage back and they see the documents and they hear the recordings and they watch the videos of how malicious and dirty these divorces have gotten, like how will the children feel? Like, I feel like Netflix need to create a documentary around like children of divorced celebrities when they get of age, and they sort of get their perspective of it. Even like with these reality show stars, when they have kids and stuff, and you see your mom and your daddy acting crazy, you know, when you become 15, 16, like, what is your thought behind that? Seeing your mom and your daddy act like that once upon a time. So, you know, I really hope that they handle this respectfully, and they keep it private, they keep it under wraps, and that everything is comfortable and at peace and just done well for them, their brands, as well as for the sake of the child.
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I do not care. It means I don't care. I have nothing to say. This is their marriage. It's their life. Do what they want. So with that being stated, I think it's a great time to open the floor to any of the other topics, gentlemen, that you have that you want to share in the time remaining on Five Guys
So if
on
you
Live.
thought that NeNe was disrespectful for leaving, do you feel that Sunny Austin was disrespectful in her interview with Kim Classic, when she was like, "Are you kidding me?" and turned her
I'm surprised you actually, that was not your topic. I was actually really shocked that was not your topic. That you sit here and talk about that woman for the craziest ish she was saying out her mouth. I was just shocked that you didn't. Yeah, Kim was saying some really off the wall ish.
She sounds just like you. Like, what are you talking about? That's how you sound when you talk about black people and black crime and people standing in line for Jordans.
No, Rodney talked about
Rodney
talked about the Jordans in line. Don't mix me up. I didn't say that.
Oh, you're right. It sounds like something you would say, but it was Rodney who said it. Good point, CJ. This is what I want to say about that interview. Number one, I don't feel as though there should be, to me, I'm gonna be honest with you, we only have one topic each per week. Kim Klacik is a loser who got 23% of the vote in Maryland, in her congressional zone. She is not going to win anything. Kwasi Mfume is a historic leader in the black community, and he is going to win that seat. He won the seat. He's going to keep the seat. She's nobody. She is nothing but a clout chaser who is in the same line of conservatism as Candace Owens and poor little misguided Christian Walker and all of these people that are out here trying to get these people are irrelevant. You can't come up out of nowheresville and all of a sudden claim to speak for black people in America. And anyone who gives them any kind of platform is doing a disservice to the black community, and they're misguided themselves. So you should never think that Zachary Kirk will let someone like that have a platform, even a piece of topic on the show. What Sunny Hoffman did was, however, let's go back to your question though, CJ. It was disrespectful and it wasn't appropriate. She is a journalist, and there is a way that journalists should behave. Not only was Sunny out of line, so too was Joy Behar. Joy Behar should be prepared and able to deal with those kinds of attacks. When Kim said, "Are you Joy Behar, the same one who wore blackface?" the right response shouldn't have been, "The black community has my back." The right response should have been, "You have no right to, on this show, deflect from the questions we're asking you. Can you please answer the question?" Because she allowed Kim to take her out of character, and she completely embarrassed herself. She embarrassed everyone who believes that she believes. She made a mistake. And Dante, Kim is an attractive woman. And I will not take that from her. But when she opens her mouth and says stupid things, she becomes significantly less attractive. Melania Trump is attractive too, or she was. And I'm sure you've seen all that she's got to offer. We all have. Gentlemen, are there any other topics or any one of our viewers, anything that you really want us to hit on this week that we have missed, that we haven't lifted? Because we are limited. We only get one topic each. Going once. Going twice.
I'm looking in the comments. Somebody said something way up earlier about something where we're going to talk about it and we didn't talk about. So give me a second. I'm researching.
Take your time and get your research together. While he's getting that research, gentlemen, I'm trying to think. There really isn't anything else. This has been a week that has been, pretty much a lot of the same old. Definitely for me, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, passing was really the most pressing issue of the week. Just a bunch of more the same lies from Trump, attacks from Biden. It really has been. We will see what happens as we continue. I can't wait for early voting to start in Georgia so I can cast my vote and just get it over with.
That's what I was about to ask you. So I know it's 45 days before the actual election day, correct?
Yes, it's going to. Well, it's different in different states. In Georgia, early voting I think starts October the 5th. Okay. For me, I actually just voted on Thursday. I voted for Keisha Waits to replace Congressman John Lewis in the special election to serve up until January's Congress. That's when Nakima Williams will be sworn in for a 2-year time period. And the actual real election with real competition will happen in 2022.
Well, everyone here in Georgia, Atlanta, and all cities and towns in the state of Georgia, please go out and vote if you can early on October 5th.
Yeah, and so Rodney, we're going to turn over. But Dante asked all of us who do we think will win. I want everyone to chime in. I think that's a good question. Dante, I'm going to say this. Zachary believes firmly, and I'm happy to go on the record and say that Joseph Biden is going to be the next president, the 46th president of the United States of America. And that's not because I'm a liberal, progressive. Well, I'm not I can't lie. I'm a moderate centrist, but I do lean more progressive than center. So I'm a moderate progressive. But here's the thing. I look at data. I look at also historical data. Joseph Biden's polls are holding steady, and that didn't happen in 2016. The pollsters are doing a much better job of getting representative samples because people hate to be wrong. They were wrong in some polls in 2016. They were not wrong about the popular vote. Hillary Clinton garnered 3 million more votes than Donald Trump. And that's what polls indicated. But in the swing states, there were some missteps and polls were not accurate. And towards the actual election day, things got very shifty and altered. So far, Joseph Biden is leading in the states that matter the most. Right now, Joseph Biden has a 7-point lead in Wisconsin, a swing state that Hillary Clinton lost. Joe Biden's leading by 10 points in Michigan, a swing state that Hillary Clinton lost. And Joe Biden's up by 5 points in Pennsylvania, a swing state that Hillary Clinton lost. In addition, polls show that Joseph Biden's up in Arizona, another state that is essential this year. He's up by, I think, 3 to 5 points. He's also up in Florida, but he's only up by 2 to 4 points. I don't believe Joseph Biden is going to win Florida, but guess what? We don't need Florida. I don't think Joe Biden is going to win North Carolina, and we don't need North Carolina. I also don't think Joe Biden is going to win Georgia, although he could, but I don't think he will. We don't need Georgia. We only need every state that Hillary won, plus Michigan, plus Pennsylvania, and plus Wisconsin. All 3 of those states went for President Barack Hussein Obama twice, as did North Carolina, as did Florida, so again, there's a lot of wiggle room that Joe Biden has to still win, to win the election. And I think that it's pretty certain as of right now that he's going to, despite all the lies and trickery from the Trump campaign and all the fake news that his team is constantly pushing out. The last point I want to make, and I'm going to silence myself, is that the loss of Ruth Ginsburg is actually probably going to benefit Vice President Biden as well. A lot of people are going to be mobilized to elect this man who were on the swing kind of swing states, swing voters. Many Americans support a woman's right to choose, despite what you hear in the media. Many Americans do support LGBTQIA plus equality and civil rights for Black people and minorities. People support these things. And I believe that some voters who were voting Republican because of the money that they think they're getting benefits on, but they're not, are going to vote also. I think it's going to be a surprise. And it could be that we also take control of the Senate. And then you'd have 2 years to really push through some important legislation that needs to happen to make America the America it's meant to be.
I'm not going to stay too long, but I agree with everything Zach said, and thank you for also giving that information about the numbers for different states and stuff, because I didn't know that. But I also do believe that Biden's going to win as well. And based on Alan Lynchman's prediction, he's also going to win, which is also the man who predicted the elections for the past 35 years, and he's been accurate. So I am curious to see if his prediction will be correct again this year.
So for me, I agree with CJ and Zach with Biden. However, Zach, could you give us some information on the Senate runoff here in Georgia? Like, I know Jon Ossoff, because I know that definitely matters too, because we are voting for the Senate this go around too, because a lot of people, are focused president, and we often put the Senate and Congress to the side, and then we get to the polls and who is Jon Ossoff and who are these names and who is her and who is she and what do they do? So could you elaborate and educate the people on
It's very important, but Jon Ossoff isn't going to win. He doesn't have a strong chance. He's not going to win. So I'm personally saving my breath because he's not going to win. Jon Ossoff is probably not, in Zachary's opinion, the strongest candidate for the position in the first place. He's not. It's great to have young people there, but Jon Ossoff is not the candidate I would have wanted to see Georgia Democrats run. Am I going to vote for Jon Ossoff? Yes, I'm going to vote for Jon Ossoff because David Perdue has been in office and he has not done the work to make this country better by simply supporting and rubber stamping every element of the Trump presidency. So in no way does he deserve my vote, and he won't be getting it. But I don't think Jon Ossoff is the strongest candidate that we could have run. In addition to that, I don't think that he's doing a good job with his commercials and his campaign as a whole. I want to say that Georgia Democrats are some of the worst campaigners I've ever seen in my life across the state. They do a horrible job. You have candidates who are running ads in places like Texas and in South Carolina, that should be less competitive, but they're doing good campaigns. And as a result of good campaigns, those states are in play. In Georgia, you see these excellent ads from Kelly Loeffler and Doug Collins that mobilize the Republican base and speak directly to what they want to hear. And then you have ads by Raphael Warnock that are boring and pointless. I don't need to see Raphael Warnock in a church. I see him in a church every time, I turn on television. That's not going to appeal to any new voters. That's not going to make people want to vote for him. It's a waste of time. In addition to that, the Georgia Democratic Party should not have 3 people running for this open seat against Kelly Loeffler. Raphael Warnock should not be running against Tarver in Augusta and then running against Lieberman. That's how parties work. There should have been pressure put in place to get them out of the race. If there was one Democrat running against Doug Collins and Kelly Loeffler, you would probably get the 51% majority so that you win the seat. Because you have 2 Republicans and 3 Democrats running for the seat, you're going to go into a runoff and the Democrats are going to lose. It is not too late for Lieberman to drop out, and it's not too late for Tarver to drop out. If they drop out, Raphael Warnock, despite running a bad campaign and despite having pitiful ads, will still win that seat. But it's not going to happen if there's more than one Democrat in the race. And right now you have 3. If on election day, all 3 of those people are still running, Zachary Kirk is going to vote for Doug Collins. Not because Doug Collins is going to be a good senator, but because he's going to be better than Kelly Loeffler, the worst candidate I have ever seen hold a Senate seat in America. Because she's corrupt, she's in it for the money, she's using her money to finance other people, and she's hurting the state of Georgia. She doesn't care about our state, and she's not doing good work. I would rather have a Georgia native like Doug Collins have that seat than have someone like Kelly Loeffler who bought it.
Well, I want to say
last thing, what you can do though is vote for Lucy McBath, who in Cobb County, if you're there. What you can do is make sure that she wins because she's also in a tough election against three-time loser Karen Handel.
Yes, please vote for her. But to answer Dante's question, I hope that Biden win. But y'all know what I did? I did a couple of things this week where I joined like probably 5 organizations that supported Trump because I wanted to see what were they talking about in there. And I had Alliance side was Republican, all this other stuff. And some of these groups have over millions of people in there, and they all are about hatred. Not one good thing said about a black person, about an immigrant, and then you have black people saying, "You're right. Yeah, they are thugs." I'm like, but you're black. Are you talking about yourself? So that really alarmed me because like I said on the last show, I would like to know what the other side is thinking. I think it's very important to know how they feel, what they think, and why they feel the way they feel. And I even asked a question, and I got removed out of one group, but I said, give me 3 reasons why you voted for Trump other than the Black Lives Matter movement, other than thugs. And they couldn't say anything. They all were like, well, you're really a Democrat. You lied to us. And all this other stuff. I'm like, well, I want to know, like, and I also asked, like, when was America ever great? So give me a specific time period when you felt like America was at its best. And couldn't anyone answer my question directly, they were just all humping down my throat and just saying all this crazy stuff. So my prayers and hope is for Biden. But if Trump was to get reelected, to me, I would not be shocked. Because I don't see, for one thing I said about Republican Party, Dante, they are very, they stick together. Like Zach said, Democrat Party, we're everywhere. When I go into Democratic groups, they're all fussing about what Kamala did, what this person did, instead of uplifting this person, trying to get this person elected. So I can honestly say, from what I've seen, from the little research I have done, that Trump supporters and Republican Party are A1. I'll give them A+. When it comes to the Democrat Party, I give them a D. That's just how I feel.
So with that being said, we have been together for 90 minutes, and you've been with us for 90 minutes. We appreciate it. It's been a pleasure. We can't wait to have you join us again next week. What are some things, gentlemen, that you have going on? I'll start off this week. The 3+1 Livecast is taking a break as my co-host Tracy is moving into her new house and getting her internet set up and having everything. So we're going to rebroadcast our episode with lifestyle influencers Issa Rahman and Lizzie Mathis. It was a great show, one of my favorite shows, and it's really good. A lot of great value bombs about relationships, a career, modeling, career as an influencer, some really good information. So we're going to re-show that one and then come back to you the following week as we continue to close out our look on fashion and then go into October where we're going to look at musicians and artists in the music industry that we need you to know about and to learn from. Gentlemen, what do you guys have happening this week? And Dante, we know there are good answers. That's what we do, is we give you good commentary and good conversation. It's what we do.
This week, I don't have nothing going on, just work. my 9 to 5.
Well, I guess I'm really happy to say that I'm interviewing someone who I really admire when I first started off in 2018. Her name is Shannon Mack. This lady she lived in Los Angeles, and she has really, to me, been a trailblazer, and I really feel like she don't get the recognition that she deserves. She has interviewed a lot of my favorites that I truly love, and I like her. I like her interviewing style. So I have the privilege and honor of interviewing her on my show with Let's Chat with Rodney on tomorrow. That will be on my Facebook and YouTube. I got off Instagram, you guys, because Instagram is a hot mess, and I'm just tired of the quality, and the video quality is horrible. But I would love you guys to tune in tomorrow for me to interview Miss Shannon Mack, and I just hope you guys enjoy it.
Nice. Fall is here, which means holidays, which means cheesecakes. So I am gearing up to start my marketing plan for the 2020 holiday cheesecake season. Looking to do some new things. Also looking to start shipping nationwide. I have two guinea pig orders that I'll be shipping out at the latter end of this week, one to Florida and one to Los Angeles. So I'm really excited about doing that. I will also be releasing my Blacktivity virtual lookbook. I did a wonderful shoot, had 5 beautiful young melanin popping chocolate women do a creative shoot with me. So I'm going to do a virtual lookbook, probably going to release that on Thursday. And then I have engagement shoots on Saturday. So yeah, we out here moving in these streets.
That's good. Good job, gentlemen, and good job to everyone out there. Hope that you have a phenomenal week. There's a lot of things that happen that can bring you down and take away your joy. Don't let it. No matter what happens, we're going to be okay. Nothing in the world is happening, including the passing of Justice Ginsburg, that isn't in God's plan. There are bigger things at play than what we realize. We have to just simply trust in the Lord and hold to God's unchanging hand, because that is what will ground us and see us through these troubled times. Have a wonderful week.
Can I say something real quick before we go?
Yes, you can, Rodney. You can give us the last word and now end the live.
Oh, Zachary didn't go out this week.
Oh, you're so silly. This is really on my spirit, and I'm not gonna get too personal, but I want to tell everyone: don't ever downplay your morals to have a friendship or relationship. If you feel like your morals are going to be disrupted because you're trying to be a supportive person, just let that person go. Because I truly feel like I can honestly say I've done this a lot with me just growing up, with just holding on to friendships and even family ships and relationships just because of the time we've been together, or just because of how much love you have for them. When you find yourself growing apart or disagreeing with something that's not with your alignment, it's okay to let it go. And I truly feel like that was on my spirit to say that.
Yeah, this is what we asked you to talk about in the beginning of the show, and you declined to do so, so you bring it up at the end. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful rest of the week.